And we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Let's see who we've got here. Art Blade, of course. Good to see you, Art. Glad you could make it. I just wanted to let you guys know at the start to clean up my mess from last week. I set the next audiobook to go live at 5:15 all by itself. That way I won't have to worry about it. So I see Ryuki Madarame. Good to see you. Hello. Yeah, so last week you probably don't remember, but I forgot to switch the audiobook from private to live after the live stream, and I ended up being about 20 minutes late. So this week I just set it to automatically go live at 5:15. So I won't have to worry about remembering. Yeah, supper was in the way. That's right. But yeah, so that's got that sorted out. Got 4 days left on the Kickstarter. If anybody's looking for signed books, that'll be over on Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So maybe you want to take a look at that if you're interested. What else? Do I have any other news? Got a new water bottle. Mr. Dude. Hello, Mr. Dude. Love your work. Keep it up. Thanks very much. I don't think I've seen your name pop up before, so glad you could stop by. Yeah, it seems like I've had a very busy week, but I haven't actually got a ton of stuff interesting, at least, that's been happening. Mostly prepping stuff for taxes. I've been uploading book files to a new printer so I can print everything off once the Kickstarter ends. So it's not hard, but it is tedious. It seems like it takes just a hideous amount of time. Of course, when you got 43 novels in various formats, that's probably, I don't know, 60 uploads. So it does take a minute. I've also got to get all my audiobooks uploaded everywhere, and that'll take a few minutes. So what about you guys? Anybody do anything exciting over the last week you'd like to share? I played pickleball 3 times last week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, which was one more than usual. We gave a presentation Wednesday for people who hadn't played or didn't know the game, and I think we had 5 people show up, so that was pretty good. Ryuki Madarame says, you know that Portal Wars Book 1 is actually one of the first videos that shows when you search audiobook on YouTube. Well, that's very cool. I see I'm just over 200,000 views on it, so it seems like people are enjoying it. So that's always nice. Good to see people are appreciating the work and enjoying it. I've never actually, I don't think I've actually searched any particular book. I usually just search my name to see if anybody is putting my books up on their channels without permission. I haven't found any in a while, thank goodness. It's always a pain to fill out those takedown notices. Ryuki says it's a really good book. Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's definitely been my bestseller and most popular one on YouTube. Judging by the number of people that have gone on to book 2, it seems like about half of them really enjoy it, because I think I've got 202,000 views on book 1 and like 98,000 on book 2. So about half the people must not care for it. So that's always interesting when you see your read through. I think it's about 45% maybe. Artblade says also congrats on 12,000 subscribers. That's amazing increase in a few months. Yeah, that's, I see. I didn't know if I had gone over. I know I was really close. I think I was like 10 short the last time I looked. So yeah, that's quite awesome. I'm curious to see where I'll be at the end of the year. Be great to get to 20,000, but that's quite a big jump. So we'll see. Andrew McDonald, good to see you. I have listened to everything you've posted. Awesome. I appreciate that. Got another one going live at 5:15 today, so hopefully you'll enjoy that as well. Ryuki says, I'm waiting for my salary next month and will probably order the whole series. What's the best place to buy? Hardcover. I'm actually getting my hardcover. My hardcover is redone by my cover artist. I fixed them up myself using the soft cover art, but it's not quite as good. I'm hoping to have that in a couple of weeks. So when I do, I'll let everybody know on here. And the best place to buy them will probably be my my web store, and I can just ship them to you. Or if you want signed versions, I can get them shipped to me, sign them, and then ship them to you afterwards, depending on your preference. But that's what I would say on that. Artblade says, I bet you get 500,000 subscribers. That doesn't seem very likely, but it'd be cool. Andrew says, I am from RSA. RSA. I'm not sure where RSA is. Where can I buy your work? Are you looking for print, or are you looking for ebooks or audiobooks, or what format are you looking for? You can get all my ebooks and the audiobooks that I have available. That I can sell direct from my web store. The link should be in the description of this video. Ricky says, I'm in the EU, so is international shipping possible? If you're in the EU, I would recommend not getting it signed, because having them shipped to me and then shipped to you is going to increase the cost a lot. But I can absolutely ship them myself once I get my new printer things set up. They're in the UK, so shipping to Europe won't be a problem. It'll probably take me another week or 10 days, I think, to get everything sorted out. But once I do, I'll make a video and show everybody the web store, and you can order from there. Or you can just order from Amazon too, assuming Amazon ships to your country. But I would wait until I get the new hardcover covers ready. That way, sorry, oh yeah, you'll have the best possible cover. So yeah, but yeah, I'll when I have an update, I'll let everybody know. Andrew McDonald says South Africa and print. South Africa and print. I think the only place South African. Boy, that's tough. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure where you could get those in print. I think you can get the paperbacks pretty much anywhere that sells them online. But yeah, I'm not sure about hardcovers. I don't know if Amazon delivers to South Africa or not. I'd have to look into it. Ryuki says, I think Amazon does ship to Latvia. Okay, good. Blade says UK and the EU aren't connected that well anymore thanks to Brexit. Yeah, I know, but it's so much closer than the States that the shipping is still a lot less if I get it shipped direct from the printer rather than going back and forth across the puddle twice. So that's definitely that would definitely be the better way to go. But yeah, I'll have to look into what the shipping to South Africa would be. I don't know right off the top of my head. Actually, I could probably look that up right now, or just a second. Let's see. And where is it? I don't know why everything is so expensive to ship, but Australia is quite ridiculous as well. To South Africa. Let's see. 10 by 14 by 6. Weight. 15 pounds. Yikes. Yeah, so shipping to South Africa is ridiculously expensive. So I'm really not. You'd have to definitely go through one of the. You definitely have to go through one of the retailers for that. I couldn't even begin to cover. I think it's like the cheapest one was like $150 to ship from here. Consider 00. Welcome. I think you might be another new face. Dwarfism is a growing problem. Dad joke. Very good. Ryuki says, autographed would be nice, but I don't think I have so much money for shipping. So regular will do for me. I just hope I will have some money left after bills. Okay, that's not a problem at all. If you decide you want to add an autograph, I actually sell book plates that you can get, and I can mail those for free, just for the price of shipping is included, so I can ship those no problem. If you decide you want to, they're like $5 each. Andrew McDonald says, "What inspired the Soulbound idea?" That's a good question. I'm not really sure where that came from. I was just sitting around one day and I thought, wouldn't it be cool if people could find somebody, if their souls were divided in half, and you could, if you found your other half of your soul, you got special abilities. It just randomly popped into my head, and I kind of went with it. I knew I wanted to do something with a character that was a alchemist, because usually I have a wizard for my main character, so I thought it'd be something different. And yeah, the half a soul thing idea popped into my head, and I thought, well, that's kind of a neat hook. I can hang my hat on, and it took off from there. It was a really fun series to write. Heartblade says, I really enjoy the Soul Bond idea. Yeah, it turned out to be a pretty cool series. I certainly had a good time with it. Hopefully everybody's enjoying it too. So I think the first book's actually up to 20,000 views already, and that's only been 2 weeks. So that's quite cool. Yeah, I like the idea of the dragon ships too. Giant blimps that fly with the power of alchemy. Let's see. Carl Hunt is here. I hope all is well, and thanks for the books. Oh, you're very welcome, and thanks for stopping in. Artblade says, my name is Bond, Soul Bond. Yeah. I'd like a medium dry vodka martini, shaken, not stirred. Ryuki says, "Wait, what? Soulbound? Sounds awesome. I only know about the Portal Wars for now. Still need to finish Master of Magic. Yeah, the Soulbound Saga is the new series. I'll be putting live the third book. It's going to be 5 books long. Number 3 to be going live at 5:15 tonight. So I hope everyone's looking forward to it. I certainly am. Yeah, it was a really fun series to write. What's everyone? I guess we did this last week. Everyone seemed to like Mia the best, so she was a fun one. I actually enjoyed writing. What's his name? Actually, I guess we haven't gotten to the character I liked writing the most, so I won't mention anything. But I think you'll get to know him a little bit better in this week's book. Have any of you guys been watching the new season of anime on Crunchyroll? There was quite a few interesting series this year that I thought looked good. Andrew Madonna says, "Well, it's midnight here, so I will probably see it in the morning." Okay, that's cool. It'll be there. Wow, midnight. I'm impressed you stayed up so late for the live stream. Thanks very much. Let's see. I actually wrote down some of the episodes I thought looked the most interesting. Let's see. There's the Misfits of Demon King Academy season 2 that I'm quite looking forward to. Carl Hunt says Halo was amazing. I don't think I've seen that one. Gabriel Badwell says, in the latest set of books mentions different worlds. Do all your books come from different worlds in the same universe? Yes, that's right. All of my every series is set in a different world, but all in the same universe, and all the demon lords are all the same. The archangels are all the same. The void is the same, and the ether is the same. So that's what connects. All the series are connected by those particular things. So yeah, same universe, different worlds, and the ether and the magic work differently in almost all the worlds. Although a lot of them are similar. So, Ryuki says, "You like anime? What's your favorite?" I have night shift. It's almost midnight here. Oh, another person up late. I like my favorite anime is probably Overlord. That one was a lot of fun. I actually prefer the light novels too, but it's probably my favorite. With Full Metal Alchemist and Cowboy Bebop coming up a close second and third. Benjamin Bokai. Oh God, I'm sure I murdered that name. I'm very sorry. You are such a great writer. Oh, thank you very much. That's very kind. Andrew McDonald says, "Do you ever think you'd do a crossover?" I don't have any planned, but I would never say it's impossible. But yeah, it's one of those things with if I get an idea for one, I certainly wouldn't hesitate to write it. But I don't have any planned at the moment. Let's see, El Chamuco. What's good with it? Every time things get a little hectic, I think, what would Otto do? Take care. I'm not sure what would auto do is necessarily the best thing to think in a normal setting. Ryuki says, yes, Overlord is amazing. Yeah, oh, good. You liked it too? Very nice. I always feel kind of bad for Ainz. He seems completely overwhelmed with everything that's going on. If I was ever stuck in a fantasy world, I think he's very much what I would be, sort of faking his way through it and hoping for the best. Gabriel Badwolf says, I have not watched anime or much of anything in years. I used to love the Trigun anime. Yeah, Trigun is actually one of the ones that after, I think, 20 plus years is actually getting another season. So that was very cool. I'm looking forward to watching that when it's all uploaded. So Andrew McDonald says, how is a Rogue Star connected to your multiverse? The Rogue Star series is set in a galaxy with not very much ether. But when I write the final book, you'll see what the closer connection is. I don't want to spoil anything, but if you look at the name of the villains in the Rogue Star universe, you'll get an idea how it's connected. Heartblade says, I'm still hoping for more Rogue Star. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do one more book, probably this year. That'll wrap up the series. Then it'll be 5 books, and I can fold it all into an omnibus and hopefully sell a few copies. Fox Toxic, another new name. Good to see you. Just popping in to give a like. I don't have time to watch the live stream right now, but I wanted to let you know how much I appreciate your stories. Well, that's very nice. Thanks for the kind words, and thanks for stopping in to throw a like on. That's great. Every like helps. Oh yeah, so the final book in the Rogue Star series is it's going to be a showdown between Voidwalker and Marcus and the gang, so that should be exciting. Fox Toxic says Portal War series has gotten me through some more tedious parts of my life. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad my stories could do that for you. It's always great to hear. It's always great to hear from somebody who says, you know, my work is done, helped them through a bad time. I had one guy who was recovering from a head injury and said, you know, he was laying in bed all day and couldn't do anything, and the audiobooks helped him with his recovery and, you know, not going crazy. So that's the sort of thing a writer likes to hear, you know, that is people are liking it and it's making a difference of some sort. So that's very cool. Glad you're enjoying it. So another good anime series is, I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's a relatively new one called By the Grace of the Gods. It's an isekai with somebody reborn into the body of a kid, and you know, it's almost like a slice of life fantasy. It's quite a good one. Very laid back. That's getting a second season this year. What else? Vineland Saga is getting a season 2, which I'm really looking forward to that. That's an excellent anime if you haven't seen it. Gabriel Badwolf says, I love audiobooks. I can't just leave them on while doing stuff. I see you're taking a stand and not taking the measly 20% from Audible. I bought the Soulbound series from your website. Oh, thanks very much. It will eventually be on Audible. I'm not crazy about their terms, but there's so many people who listen on there that even at that low 20%, I still get a lot of new people finding my stuff. I don't advertise it or anything. It's just there. People find it. I prefer them to buy direct from me, but a lot of people have a subscription, and I don't want them to not be able to find my stuff if that's where they prefer to listen. So Marcus Samoa is here. Good to see you. You didn't miss much. We've just been chatting about this, that, and the other thing like usual. Gabriel Badwolf. Yes, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. That's for sure. I'm hoping they'll improve their terms now that Brandon Sanderson has called them out a little bit. So we'll see. Carl Hunt says it's a shame it's like that, but welcome to the new world. Yeah. Actually, back when they first started, I think Amazon only paid 35% on their ebooks. It wasn't until Apple and some of the other stores went up to 70% that Amazon followed suit. So yeah, none of the truth is, I think none of the big retailers care all that much about how authors are doing. That's one of the reasons I'm working hard to build both the YouTube channel and my direct sales store. I want to be able to have a direct relationship and not have to worry about somebody else screwing me over, and controlling so much what percentage I get. Andrew McDonald says, I love that you have kept the narration consistent in your audiobooks. That said, do you think you will ever self-narrate again? I'm not very good at it, and Joe is really good at it, so I'm going to say probably not. If I ever did, it would probably be like a short story or something. Like I did some of my short stories myself, and they turned out okay. But yeah, I don't think so. If I ever do, I might write a bunch of short stories and then just have Joe do like a batch of 10. So it was sort of like a novel. But yeah, no, I don't think I'm ever going to do any myself. I just, I'm not that good at it. Marcus Samoa says, I just watched the new Vox Machina episodes. I loved. Very good. I've seen those on Amazon. I haven't watched them yet, but they look pretty good. I might check them out. I've got a to be watched and a to be read list that are about a mile long. So just getting to everything takes forever. Mark says, don't forget the likes. Yeah, definitely don't forget that. Gabriel Battle says, I'd be useless at narrating. I keep stuttering every time I read out loud. Yeah, I'm not all that great at it either. But with the right editing and patience, you can get it done. Ice Queen, hello, welcome. Haven't seen your name before, so it's great to have you. Thanks for stopping in. Hey, I love the Portal War series. Really refreshing to have a hero who isn't just a do-gooder. Yeah, Otto's definitely not a do-gooder. It's funny. That seems to be the thing. People either love that he's not a do-gooder or they hate that he's almost a villain. So I guess pick your poison. I've gotten comments both ways. So I just, that's just how he turned out, really. I just made it up as I went along, and that's what he turned into. Carl Hunt says, one thing I would love to see would be audiobooks with graphic art. If you want to see audio, like a narrated book with like a motion comic, I've got one motion comic on my channel. The Soul Force Saga, the Tower of Sorcery. That might be something you'd be interested in if you want to take a look. I had a lot of fun with that, and book 2 is almost done. So I'll hopefully be posting that in a couple of months. Ryuki says, dude, you deserve way more fans for all the work you put in your books. Well, thank you. Excuse me. As far as deserving, I figure nobody really deserves fans. I hope that as people find my stuff and enjoy it, I'll earn fans. At least that's my goal. Swiss Medic, bro, I'm an adult and I sound like I'm 12. I could never do voiceovers. Well, you could do voiceovers if the characters were, on the younger side. There are, YA novels for the younger character. You'd probably be great for that. Gabriel Battle says characters that are in the gray and not good or bad are more fascinating. Yeah, definitely more interesting. Andrew says, I feel Otto is one of the most honestly written characters I have seen in a while. Well, I try to write all my characters honestly. Ryuki says, some art between the pages of books would be so much better. Have you considered to do a collab with someone for a graphic novel? I've actually got a graphic novel I'm working on right now. Like I said, you can watch the first, I think it's 49 pages on my channel if you want to take a look. That's part one. It's going to be 3 parts. And when I have all 3 parts, I'll gather them and do a printed version for you guys if anybody's interested. Andrew McDonald says, would you ever revisit the Portal Wars? Yeah, I'm kicking around an idea for book 8. I'm not sure when I'll get to it, though. It's just a vague idea swirling around my head. I can't, I haven't got it solidified or anything. But if it does, and I have a solid grasp on it, I'll definitely write another book. Carl Hunt says, sweet, I'll be checking that out. Very good. If you pop in next week, let me know what you think. Darwin Dominguez is here. Greetings. Good to see you, Darwin. Glad you could make it. Here's Ian Creech. Yo, James and crew. Good to see you, Ian. Thanks. Glad you could make it. Good to see everybody. Marcus Samoa says, in your new book, no spoilers. I love the way the history of some character. That was a little something that it's rethinking his way of seeing things through. Yeah, it's important that the characters change throughout the course of the book. You don't want them to stay static. Darwin Dominguez says the last book was amazing. I can't wait for more. Yeah, it'll be 5:15. It'll go live. I set it to go live automatically, so that's the first time I've done that. So hopefully it goes off without a hitch. But I didn't want to forget it like I did last week. So words and pictures. I made friends with the characters from the Portal War saga, and they helped me through a few tough weeks. Bless you and thank you, James. You're welcome. I'm always glad when my books can make a difference for somebody. Those are my favorite comments to read when I'm going through them every day. Is when it's like somebody says, "Yeah, I was feeling down, and your books helped me get through a bad time, and all that sort of thing." Or that, and I like hearing when the truckers say they listen to it when they're traveling across the country. That's always fun to hear too. So those are the sorts of things that help motivate. Not that I need any extra motivation because I love to write, but it is nice to know the stories are making a difference for people. So Marcus Samoa says DC or Marvel. Right now, I don't particularly like much of either one, but I like some DC books and some Marvel books, but so I'd have a hard time choosing. I like Batman. I like Green Lantern. I used to like X-Men. It's kind of gone downhill lately. Yeah, I don't really read a lot of mainstream comics. I read more indie comics. My favorite indie comics are Coffin Comics, the Lady Death and Hell Witch and those. Yeah, those are what I read mostly for comic books. Andrew McDonald says, who are my favorite authors? Terry Brooks is one of my favorites. Let's see. Outside of fantasy and science fiction, I like Janet Ivanovich. I like, let's see, Raymond E. Feast is quite good. Michael A. Stackpole is quite good. It's hard to say. I read so many books and so many of them are good. My favorite fantasy author working right now is probably Joe Abercrombie. He's fantastic. If you haven't read The Blade itself, I totally recommend. I recommend that 100%. You should totally check it out. Those are probably some of my favorites. Swissmedic says, I checked out your website and saw all the books you wrote and are writing. What was your favorite? I think my favorite book is always the one I'm working on at the moment. Once I'm done, I kind of forget about it and move on to the next one. So right now, my favorite is the New Ages of Merlin book, which I just started last week, I think. Packux is here. Hello. Good to see you. Glad you could stop by. Yeah, it's I think I don't know if it is the truth for a lot of writers, but I've heard a lot of writer acquaintances of mine say that their favorite book to write is always the one they're working on now. Of course, I've also had people saying that their favorite book to write is whichever one they finish, which I always thought was strange because if you don't like to write the books, why would you want to be a writer? Marcus Samoa says, I love Robert E. Howard and David Gemmell. Yeah, I got all the Robert E. Howard books right there. They're all in hardcover on my shelf. They were great. I haven't read David Gemmell yet. For comics, I love The Astounding Wolfman and the old Predator Versus from Dark Horse. Yes, I like the Predator versus Aliens, and I actually quite liked. I don't know if you read it, but I liked Superman versus Aliens. That was a surprisingly good comic book. Words and Pictures says Logan Nine Fingers is a wonderful character. Yes, he is. He's one of my favorites. He's a bit like, he's got a bit of a Conan vibe to him. Artblade says, I used to read a lot of Stanislaw Lem. Now I think Joe Abercrombie has been the most promising new writer after me. Actually, Joe's been writing for quite a while. I think the first one came out in the early 2000s. So he's got at least a decade on me, I would say. But yeah. I follow him on Twitter, and he can be kind of amusing. Yeah, so those are my favorite writers, and my favorite book, like I said, my favorite book to write is the one I'm working on. So Ryuki says, I used to do a lot of writing, but I can never finish what I start. Just can't focus on one thing. Has something like that ever happened to you? Not in a while. When I was first getting started, sometimes it was hard to finish. But the way I write, I don't use an outline. So I'm sort of telling the story to myself. So I want to finish it to see what happens, which helps me get to the end and get through the draft. But yeah, I know I've heard a lot of people say they have trouble. They'll get like 30% of the way into the book they're working on, and they'll get a new novel, and they'll want to go chase the shiny new thing. And I can totally see how that would be a challenge. Heartblade says, as opposed to the old guard that is dead by now. Oh, yeah, I suppose compared to the old guard, Joe's still fairly new. He seems like a pretty interesting guy. I haven't seen any ugly political comments associated with him, at least, so that's a plus. But yeah, learning to finish learning to finish a book is a very important skill to pick up. Sometimes it's just a matter of powering through, just making up your mind that I'm gonna do this thing, and that's all there is to it. Is sometimes just what you have to do. So far, knock on wood, it hasn't happened to me since I've been doing this full time, but I worry that it might, because I get lots of new ideas all the time. Sometimes writing down the new idea, when I get it, helps me get back to focusing on the current project. But yeah, it can be a challenge. Gabriel Badwolf says, I have ADHD and that happens all the time. I get hyper focused and write at least 60 to 70% of the book, then get distracted and lose my train of thought, and poof, it's gone. Yeah. I can't imagine doing this if I had ADHD. That's got to be really hard. Marcus Smo says, Richard Lee Beyer is also incredible. He was a little left up after the changes in Wizard. They really let the ball down when they canceled Brotherhood of the Griffin before the final book. Yeah, Richard Lee Byers is excellent. I've got a whole bunch of his books on my shelf back here. So, yeah, definitely one to check out. Most of the writers from the old TSR days, Margaret Weis and Tracy Hickman are quite good as well, from the Dragonlance universe. I think I've read all of their books. In the Dragon Gate cycle too, outside of Dragonlance was quite good. That's a 7-book series. If you've never read it, I recommend it. Words and Pictures says, do you ever write drunk? No, I've never drank alcohol. Alcoholism runs in my family, and I was always afraid if I tried it, I would end up, becoming an alcoholic, and that's not a writer stereotype I want to further. Marcus Smo says, do I read Called to Darkness? No, I've never heard of it. The Ice Queen says, do you have a daily writing routine? I do. I usually in the afternoon, starting around 1 o'clock, I write until I have 5-ish pages, 5 to 7 pages. I don't really do anything else until I get those pages done. And then I decide what to do next. If it's going good, sometimes I'll write a couple extra pages. If it's not, I'll stop and do something else, change of pace. Marcus Mo says, I love The Blind Shaman. I'm not familiar with that. Ryuki says, that's the thing that happens all the time. When I was between 15 and 20 years old, I wrote stories for my friends and could never finish anything. 10 years later, and they still mad at me and try and get me to finish. That's a good sign, though. If they're eager for you to finish them, it means you wrote something they really enjoyed. So if you ever decide to go back to it, you'll have at least some audience who's interested in reading it. So that's always a good place to be. Yeah, so I wish I had some tips for you to help you finish your projects, but I think it's just something that comes with time and practice. And you might even try, if you just want to get used to finishing stuff, writing some short stories, something that's only 2,000 or 3,000 words, just to get a complete story, practice a complete story. I wrote some short stories early on just for fun and for practice. So that's definitely something you might want to consider. if you want to get back into writing. If you don't, that's cool, of course. But yeah. Let's see. What else do we have? We were talking about favorite authors. Another favorite author is Glenn Cook. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with his work, but he wrote the Black Company series. That was excellent. That's some really good fantasy. What else did? Oh, he wrote a detective one set in a fantasy world that was quite good. What's the name of that? I can't even think of the name of it, but I think there's 9 books in that series, and it was real good. Who else do I like? I read a lot of Japanese light novels translated, but I have trouble pronouncing their names. Carl Hunt says Craig Allenson is not bad. I'm not familiar with that name. Marcus Moore says Black Company is the one in first person. I think it might be. I haven't read them in a while, but I remember they were really good. Artblade says Jim Butcher, Urban Fantasy is good. Yep. For sure, Jim Butcher's probably is the big name in urban fantasy, I would say. Words and Picture says Black Company is great. Really enjoyed it. Okay, very good. Max 2.0 is the Soulbound saga somehow connected to the Portal War saga? I don't want to give away any spoilers. You'll definitely know more if you listen to the next book, which is coming out this evening. We can talk about it next week. But yeah, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. So Ryuki says, I also write in English, and since it's my third language, it does come a bit hard. Oh, wow. Third language. What are your first two, if you don't mind my asking? I'm not sure what XD means in OMG. That's, oh my God. I'm not sure what that's for, but very good. Who else? Oh, Terry Goodkind. His books are quite good. Latvian and oh, very cool. Ice Queen says, have you read any Korean comics? I'm reading Villain to Kill, and it's pretty cool so far. I haven't. I don't really read all that many comic books. Pekka says, I already listened to Portal War Saga and the Soul Force Saga. Cool. Hopefully you're listening to the Soulbound Saga too. Book 3, like I said, is coming out in about half an hour. Both of them have a different kind of magic. Yeah, I like to vary the magic in each series just to make it more interesting. Some of them are similar, but yeah. Ryugi also recommends Viral Hit, which I haven't heard of. Gabriel Badwell says, I write in English and it's my first language and it can be hard sometimes. Which got a laugh from Artblade. Zatraxis is here. Hello, James. I really wanted to know how to be more eloquent in your writing because I seem to be struggle with it greatly. Yeah, I don't really know. Practice, I guess. I write more for clarity and understanding rather than making it pretty. The most important thing is getting your getting your ideas across in a way that people understand. If you happen to make it pretty, that's just a bonus. Pitsy says, I came across the Portal War Saga books 3 weeks ago and I'm on 7 now. It's cool that you're uploading them. Isn't that a bit of a financial blow? Actually, since I started uploading on YouTube, my sales have gone up as people, some people will go and buy a copy of the books. And I've got other books too, of course, that aren't on here. And I get ad revenue since I have, commercials in the books. So yeah, no, it hasn't been much of a financial blow, especially since a lot of people who listen will give me a tip, a few dollars through YouTube and PayPal. So that definitely helps. So yeah, it's just it's a really good way to find new readers. So it's been worth it for me, I think. Ice Wing says, thanks for the recommendations. I'll check it out. You're welcome. That's great. Yeah, it is. It's definitely been a good thing for me. I found a lot of fans, a lot of great folks to chat with on my live streams, and lots of new people reading my books. So it's all good. That said, if something awful happened and YouTube decided to demonetize my stuff, I might have to take it all down. So I definitely need the ad revenue to make it pay. All right. I see we're getting down towards the 1 hour mark. So if anybody has any questions, now's the time to put them up, and I'll do my best to answer them before we call it a night. If not, Zatraxis says, the new books you uploaded here really remind me of the Portal Wars. A royal advisor, check. Paranoia, check. Letting other people fight for him, check. Very MacGyver-esque, check. And very annoyed with the nobility, yeah. He's got a little bit less attitude, though, than Otto. Marcus says, do you have some tips for a better way to preserve our book collections? I'm asking because I'm really having a problem with my books, which are full of yellow spots. I would say definitely keep them on the shelf, out of the sun. The sunlight is probably what's causing some of your yellow spots. Also, you want to avoid any excess humidity. So other than that, I can't think of anything. What other books are you going to put on YouTube? At some point, I'm going to put all of them on YouTube. I'm just waiting to get some rights back from the publishers. But yeah, the goal is to have everything up on my channel, so everybody can enjoy it, and I can find new readers all the time. So, all right, I think I'm going to call that good. It's great to see everybody. Thanks so much for stopping. Like I said, the new book will be live in about 20 minutes, so I hope you guys enjoy it. And so long. I'll see you next time.